Hello, good evening and welcome back to In the Know, brought to you by the Racing Post and Coral. And they've barely crossed the line for the Copper Horse Stakes. We're back to preview day 2 of the Royal Ascot card, and we hope you had a profitable, or at the very least, not too bad, a day 1. Very important on the first day of a festival to ease yourself into the action. And we certainly did so with some impressive winners this afternoon. Baid doing it once again. He doesn't win by far, but he never looks in danger. Nature Strip, quite the opposite, winning by half the track in the very dramatic King's Stand. Caribus crawled home in the St James's Palace in a rather remarkable finish, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And of course we had an impressive Coventry winner and other horses to consider in handicaps, and an ultra-competitive Wolverton Stakes as well. But you join us as we get ready and raring to go for day 2, and it certainly doesn't slow down tomorrow. How good is Bay Bridge is the question on everyone's lips. Of course, we've got the Queen Mary as well, which looks a fantastic renewal, and we've only got a small field for the Duke of Cambridge, but that looks a nice group of fillies and mares as well, and I'm sure we'll rustle up a little bit more action in those handicaps, and I don't know, maybe a 33-1 winner in the Windsor Castle. No pressure on our pundits tonight. Live and interactive, of course. Get in touch via that chat box on YouTube. Like, subscribe, you know what the algorithm wants, and we'll be back every night throughout the week, of course. So the more you like the stream, the more likely we are to keep coming back forever and ever until we're old and grey. Well, not too far away myself, and certainly one of the pundits tonight, but we'll get to him a little bit later on. But I hope you had a good day today. Like I said, we'll be discussing that in a short while. As far as I'm aware, no winners from our pundits on the show last night, though, so we just got rid of them all. We've got rid of the Monday night team, and we brought in the Tuesday night team to see if they can do a little bit better. To my left is Mr. Robbie Wilders, whose bet of the week rattled the crossbar in the one race.
It's a shame, yeah. I couldn't have found that winner in a month of Sundays. Did anyone find that winner?
It was very Robbie Wilders of you that the one race that all of us said, this is an absolute nightmare and we don't have a confident selection in, you said, this is my bet of the week.
It's stuck in, mate. Yeah, I think a lot of that was kind of anti-post, that Dave was taking out a lot of the market and he wasn't going to run and stuff like that, but no complaints really. I mean, he's beaten the rest of the field. He's just bumped into one.
That was Cadillac, of course, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. But I reckon if you come away from day 1 of a big festival, in particular Royal Ascot, and you've hit the frame with a few, you've done all right. Yeah,
I mean, personally, 2 seconds, 2/3. I mean, collected back the each way money, come in sort of level, so hopefully build on that tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, lovely stuff. Robbie Wilders then in the pundit's chair, and he better do a good job because his boss is dialing in from home. Graeme Rodway. This is pressure, Graeme. You know, you've got to show Robbie how it's done, mate.
Well, yeah, Robbie's bound to outperform me this week. Is the Ross, but no, it's been a good day, hasn't it? It was really exciting first few races, weren't they? What a performance it was from that sprinter. He was absolutely electric, wasn't he? I can't even remember his name. He was that good. Natural something.
Nature Strip, Graeme. Have you?
Yeah. Nature Strip.
You remember? It's only a few hours ago, mate.
Yeah, well, like you say, I've got a few grey hairs now, Ross. Not the memory's not what it was, mate.
A few grey hairs. You're in practically entirely platinum, Rodders.
No, I take that as a compliment. No, there's still a bit of black in there, isn't there?
No, maybe
not. There's enough black. A lot more when I first met you, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we're blaming Robbie for the rest of them going. But impressive stuff today. Obviously, like I said, Nature Strip, very impressive indeed. I guess you probably forgot the name, Rodders, because you were too busy looking back to see what finished second, third, or fourth, as most of us were doing.
Yeah, I had a similar day to Robbie. Yeah, a lot of seconds, a lot of thirds each way. Yeah, made a few quid, but not a lot, you know, because really you need them to win, don't you, to win a lot of money, you know. And if they place, it's nice, you know. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but really, winners is what the game is about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Although personally, I've learned my lesson from last year where I kept rattling the crossbar and I thought I'm just going to put them all in each way multiples. So if they all place, I'll actually have fantastic week, and they all have so far. So I'm not counting my chickens, but they can get beaten. They can get beaten half the track into a place, and I'm not that bothered really.
It sounds like we're going to tip a lot of placed horses tomorrow. Then, Ross, is that going to be the case?
That's what we're going for. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Just places. No, we're not after winners. Just places will do.
I'm going for every horse that I tip this week to finish in the frame. No winners. That's what I'm going for.
Like the place pot.
Yeah. I'm going for a week-long place pot. That
win without backing a winner.
There you go. That's my slogan. That's always been my slogan. Do you want to make profit or do you want to back winners, Rodders? That's the question.
Well, I like backing winners, but yeah, I'm not going to turn my nose up profit, Ross.
No, fair enough. Graeme and Robbie hopefully picking out a few winners, and I'll go for the places on Wednesday. David Stevens, what do you want? Losers?
Good evening, gents. I'm still reeling from the information that Rodders is Robbie's boss, and I'm just trying to picture that annual review where the pair of them sit down and give their mutual feedback on each other's performance. That's something I would love to be a fly on the wall at. And then we had our advert for Just for Men as well, the hair colouring. So we've had it all tonight. But I think the tale that Robbie has told and Graeme has told pretty much sums up the day. Kind of honours even, really, between bookies and punters. Bit of something for the punters, bit of something for the bookmakers. And we go again tomorrow. But, I mean, just a word on Nature Strip. I mean, he was extraordinary. To win a Group 1 sprint, 5 furlong sprint by 4.5 lengths, absolutely hard-howled. That is clearly a monstrous performance. Baaid was brilliant as well. Sadly, we're not going to get my wish and see him in the Coral Eclipse. I think he could go Sussex Stakes and then on to York. But stepping up in Trip will be exciting. He was good. Bradshaw, a 20-1 shot for next year's 2,000 guineas after he won the Coventry. And a thrilling St James's Palace where Caribus got the job done, but beaten by a length. That came into play. I think about 3 horses were beaten by a length in that race, so you get your money back in that one. So I thought it was a brilliant day, lived up to all the hype. My colleague Simon Clare has messaged me already. He tells me that he confidently tipped up Nature Strip last night. He says, don't include him in the no losers category.
Yeah, that is true. He did do
that.
No
winners even.
No winners. Yeah. We all had losers, but that is true. His international racing knowledge did come in handy there, and we all poo-pooed it and dismissed it. And between a lot of us, I think we tipped everything else that placed. But yeah, Nature Strip was phenomenal. I mean, obviously helped by whatever was happening with Golden Pal. Although it gets to the point where you think that's 3 races now that Golden Pal has. Looked a little bit difficult on these shores, and I mean Caribus, guys. I don't think I can actually. I'm not sure I'm over it. I'm not sure I'm over Maljoom.
I mean, Maljoom with a clear run would have won that by about 4 lengths, wouldn't he?
Who would have won further, Maljoom or Nature Strip?
I think potentially Maljoom. I've not seen the sectional, how much actual ground he made up, but he was miles back the final furlong, and. I mean, he got there just after the line. It was devastating if you backed him. I didn't. I looked beyond him. But, yeah, I think you're going to have to say he's the horse to take out the race by some way.
Well, I mean, you talk about potential Sussex Stakes, Graeme. If Baaid does go, I'd like to see Baaid versus Maljoom up that in the Sun at Goodwood.
Yeah, it'll be a one-horse race, won't it? And Baaid's going to beat everything until he goes over a mile and a quarter and Desert Crown hands it to him. But I just think that... I mean, that was probably my most frustrating result of the whole day. Was I've been dead against Caribus at long odds on all week, and I, laid him today and made quite a strong argument as to why he wouldn't win. And when he scrapes home by a head with about a posse of horses all ahead and a short head behind him, with Maljoom running into every single piece of traffic, racing can be a frustrating game, Ross. Sometimes, can't it?
I think so.
I was right, but I didn't get paid.
Well, exactly, but that's do you want to back winners or do you want to make profit? But yeah, no, it is incredibly frustrating, and that's the thing. But that's what makes Royal Ascot so fantastic, isn't it, David? Because you can be right all week and still not back a winner because it's so competitive. There is not a weak race on the entire card, and there's not that many festivals you can say that about.
No, I mean, the irony about that as well is watching Caribus come through that race. I mean, there was a moment when it's like, is he going to get the gap that he needs? He did get it, and he was just quick enough to get it. In behind, as you say, Maljoom's having all sorts of problems. There's so much at stake. It's high-pressure stuff, isn't it? Split-second decisions here and there. But as you just said it, let's see that rematch between Maljoom, Caribus, and the older horses. And... yeah, let them settle it at Goodwood. Of course, another notorious track for trouble in running.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, do not go down the inside at Goodwood either. But maybe Kieran Fowler might have learned his lesson there. But of course, and a real world might well show up as well. The acceleration of the current generation of milers. But let's move on to day 2 then. Hello to everyone viewing at home. Get your selections and your thoughts in for day 2 of Royal Ascot. I hope you at least had a few winners, or like me and Rodders, hit the frame with everything you backed each way. And if you didn't have that many winners on day 1, the bad news is it gets harder, but you never know. We don't need too many to make a profit. The Queen Mary kicks us off tomorrow. Dramatise is the favourite there, 11-4. Love Reigns 100-30. Maria Branwell at 15-2. Katie Content is 9-1. All the Time is 12-1. Yarsat 14s. Lady Tilbury 16s. One More Ollie is 18-1. And there's a lot of horses all at decent prices who have come into this in decent form as well. Lots of Omni Queen for David Loughnane. Maylander C for Michael Bell was impressive as well. Carmella brings the Marygate format of York. The Platinum Queen, Lady Beano, did good figures in Northern Novices as well. This looks a red hot, very difficult Queen Mary to pull apart. But when Dramatise won on debut, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go to York, but of course they won that race anyway with Pillow Talk. So
yeah, Clip Logistics got a good team this year, haven't they?
Yeah, and
juvenile fillies.
First time out, they're absolutely primed and ready to go.
Yeah, that was a deeply impressive performance. Actually, slightly better than... That's the best RPR on the field, dramatised. I thought Love Reigns was the one, though. I mean, her 100 on her debut is actually better than any of Wesley Ward's 3 winners this decade and the 3 favourites that were beaten. So that was deeply impressive, the way she won by nearly 10 lengths at Keeneland, making all typical quick breaker from the gates. On pedigree as well, I think you can ask a lot of questions about these Ward horses, like are they going to see out the 5 or 6 over that stiff finish? But I feel this is not going to be an issue for this filly. She's out of a half sister to a US Grade 1 winner over a mile 4. US Navy flag won the Dewhurst over 7 at 2. I think she's gonna make every yard and no one's going to catch her.
Yeah, and inevitably, he sends a lot over, but this is his race, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And he's had some superb winners over the years. And just on that debut effort, I mean, you have to say Love Reigns is just as good, if not better, than all of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's strong words. We've had Lady Aurelia, we've had Acapulco.
Just on the figures of what we've seen and the distances, yeah. But we'll learn a lot more tomorrow. But I think she'll have no excuses.
OK, Love Reigns then, 100-30. Unless, of course, she tumbles out of the boxes and rears up like Golden Pal did earlier, Graeme. But, yeah, that's the problem with, especially with the juvenile contest with Ward runners. You can be right, but you can get chinned 5 lengths by a bit of a freak.
Yeah, it wasn't a great start for Irad Ortiz, was it? Let's be fair. One of the world's greatest jockeys, and disaster with Golden Power, of course, and insisted on rushing the horse up and giving it absolutely no chance. Well, virtually walked over the line, didn't it? A very, very strange run. Obviously, chance went at the boxes. I thought this was very difficult, Ross. Katie Content was the one that I came down on. Clive Cox's runner. Won first time out at Salisbury. Not many of his win first time out. Low RPR often is the case with Clive Cox. Took a big step forward next time out. Beaten Radio Goo at Windsor. Yeah, like that name. And beat that one easily. Clive Cox has banged in a few winners, hasn't he? Heartache, of course, I think. Did she win this race? Yeah, she did. 2017. And he's had another 2-year-old winners. Yeah, Katie Content was the one, but obviously I know absolutely nothing about the American horse, and we'll be hoping that Irad doesn't fly off and is not for catching. So what am I on? Katie Content. Yeah.
There you go, Katie Content now, Rodders. Are you having name blindness tonight?
It's only Wednesday, but it feels like it's about Friday. These weeks, these big Royal Ascot and Cheltenham weeks, they get quite long.
Yeah. Well, and you're already previewing. I mean, you're previewing the Wokingham at this rate, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm right. I've just in the middle of writing the Gold Cup analysis now. Yes, so I'm already got my mind on Thursday, if you know what I mean. But that's the way it works nowadays.
It is indeed. Okay, Katie Content then a 9-1 shot. A couple interested me, but mainly Maria Branwell. She's the one of all the horses that hit the frame today. Maria Branwell is in those each way bets, so I need her in the frame. I thought she was really impressive at Thurskin, a good figure on debut, and then that Sandown win last time out. That was an Ascot finish if ever I saw one. She got it in a bit of trouble. She looked a little bit green when she was asked for her effort, but then she powered home to beat Crispy Cat, who might well have a chance later on in the week as well. And she's got a high draw, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Albeit we have had 3 horses win from box 1 in the Queen Mary, which is actually the best draw statistically in the Queen Mary. So you either win from box 1 or you win from a high draw over here. So they could well split for the first time in tomorrow's opening race. But I'm hoping Maria Branwell goes very well for David O'Mara. But David Stevens, open stuff, 21 runners.
21 runners, so 5 places each way in this opening Queen Mary. I mean, there's so many, whole host of unbeaten fillies in the could be anything category. I've got 2 on my list. I think we're going to need at least 2 in this. I'm with you on Maria Branwell. Really impressed with that win at Sandown. I wouldn't worry about the draw. Actually, if you're drawn high or low, I mean, the first and third in the Coventry came from 1 and 2 today. I know it's over a furlong more, but the usual Ascot draw, it's where the pace is. And the favourite, I've got to have dramatised in my team as well. When she won at Newmarket, that was one of those, well, that'll win the Queen Mary performances. And obviously she faces 20 rivals here, many of whom are unbeaten themselves, but I've got to stick with the impression she made. But Wesley Ward there, I know obviously Robbie's a big fan of this one, Love Reigns, and Wesley Ward is the subject of our first enhanced special tonight. He didn't have the luck today. Irad Ort is on board again tomorrow, but will he have a winner on day 2? He doesn't often leave the Royal Meeting empty-handed. He's 5-2 from 15-8. A Wesley Ward winner tomorrow, and you've got Love Reigns running for you in the first.
Okay, Wesley Ward trainer winner Ascot on Wednesday, 5-2 out from 15-8. For the Queen Mary, he has Love Reigns, of course, who does have a jockey with a little bit of making up to do after today. But the Queen Mary Stakes then, opening race on day 2. Robbie Wells?
Love Reigns, but I might throw a few quid on Living Meralda each way at a massive price. She bumped into Statuette last time. That was a favourite for the Albany. Shaped as if a drop back to 5 would be just fine, and she's drawn quite close to Love Reigns, so she might hit the frame at a big price.
Well, she's in that 1 box.
Exactly,
yeah.
Which, as you point out, the place to be.
3 winners in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Philippe Coutinho will be there to see her run. Graeme Rodway?
I am with Katie Content, Ross. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. I'll go with Maria Branwell and David Stevens.
20-1 shot, Olivia Meralda, each way there with those 5 places. I'm going to go Maria Branwell, each way, dramatised win, and let's smash it out of the park with a forecast as well.
It's a very just casual confidence there, David. Love it, love it. Okay, that's the first race of the day. Then very different for the Queen's Vase. 3-year-olds stepping up in trip. The vast majority of them. This can be a bit of a brutal test for horses at a stiff track over 1.6 miles when most of them have been running around in novice events at. The likes of Yarmouth and Newcastle, and it's Eldar Eldarov who heads the betting here at 3-1. Nahani is 4-1, Anchorage 11-2, Al Kareem 15-2 with Harfit. At 9-1 Baltic Bird, 12-1 Perfect Alibi, 14-1 Ruler Legend, and then Zechariah Typewriter, Emotion and Green Team also make up the field here for the Queen's Vase, which it can often be a bit of a brutal test. Obviously breeding often gives a bit of a clue, and certain yards like to run their horses in here. John Gosling has a pretty shocking record in it, though. He runs Baltic Bird, but the Ballydor battalions often have a good hand. They've sent one with Anchorage, and Eldarov has been tipped up by a lot of people, and that Newcastle form is working out a treat, Graeme Rodway. So a lot of chances here, but the question is which one stays?
Funny, because I've just been writing the Gold Cup analysis and saying that no pundit should ever ask the question in staying races which horse stays. And you've just literally asked it.
Well, I'm a presenter, not a pundit, Graeme. That's what I'm here for. So
It's almost like you've read my piece, but you haven't, But no, you see, the thing with modern day staying races is they're just usually won by the horse that can sprint the fastest nowadays, because not many horses actually do truly stay. So if they all don't stay, he's just the quickest horse that wins, Ross. And the quickest horse in this race, I think, is Nahani, who has obviously got two of the best three pieces of form in the race, but that's because he's been running in much better company. However, you couldn't knock him for his run in the Derby last time. It was an absolute hugely eye-catching run. He was one of those who got upset by the fireworks. They were all going off nuts off the top of the grandstand, and Nahani was sweating, got himself in a right state, and he made a mess of the start. And he was right at the back, but he stayed on very strongly down the outside to finish 7th, right in the midfield. It was a really eye-catching run. And that is without doubt the best piece of form in the race, and he's definitely capable of running better than he did that day. If he's a bit more settled in the preliminaries and he gets away on terms, this course should suit him better. The problem is, of course, he is coming in against a bunch of unexposed horses, and we don't know how good they are. Like you say, Elder Rov, or whatever his name is, but he's a bigger price than him, Ross. That's what I don't get. Like, if he was a short price favourite because he had the best form and there are a bunch of unexposed horses against him, I'd be with the unexposed horses. But he's not even favourite. He's around about the 4-1 mark, I think, isn't he? So yeah, for me, Nahani's got the best form. He's still improving, and provided he takes the preliminaries better, he should win this.
Okay, Nahani then, of course, is. I know you're saying it's not about staying, Graeme, but the joy of being sired by Frankel is you get a bit of both, don't you?
Well, yeah, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? But having said that, Galileo's the same, isn't he? And what's the other one? Dubarwi's got an amazing record. I mean, when it comes to Royal Ascot, all of these sires, they're all good, aren't they? You don't really get. It's very rare to get a horse that isn't bred in the purple go and win at Royal Ascot, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're all well bred.
Yeah, even the ones that get picked up cheaply, as it were, are by decent families. But yeah, okay, Nahani 4-1 then, second favourite after that Derby run. Hopefully he will have recovered from the Catherine wheels and the sparklers. Elderov then, that Newcastle form's working out really well. Nahani's form's working out really well. You've got decent handicap form. Al Kareem keeps beating horses as well, and then plenty of other unexposed types.
Elderov looks short enough there, doesn't he? I actually slightly disagree with my boss a little bit there. Does Nahani have the best form? I mean, Haffett done 2 better performances on RPRs. I feel like the market is factoring in too much into the William Buick jockey booking. If Buick was on Haffett, then you probably flip him over. And Nahani's got an 11-day turnaround to overcome. I mean, Kew Gardens did the same thing in 18 days, finished Danfield in the Derby and overcome it, but it's still quite a big ask. I like Haffett. I just feel like he's been beaten at short prices 4 times in very muddling races, and I feel like he's going to improve for the step up in trip. He's sold for a monster price, as 2.1 million guineas, I think it was, as a juvenile. I think there's more to come from that horse, and he is £4 clear on official rating, so he looks quite big at 15-2. And the other one is Anchorage. I think the amount of colts that Aidan O'Brien could have ran in a race like this, it must be significant. He's relied on this one, and he was quite eye-catching on his seasonal return, the Gallignol Stakes over 1 mile 2, shaping as if that extra couple of furlongs would help. I mean, Galileo's side 3 of the last 10 winners. O'Brien's had 5 of the last 10. He's the man to follow in these kind of races. So I'll be having a bit of Anchorage and a bit of Haffett, I think.
Okay, so Haffett with a different jockey booking, you could Haffett, as it were. And Anchorage 11-2, yeah. O'Brien 7 from 33 in this race. So 45% of the runners that he runs in here have either won or placed. So, like you said, he just... Of all the trainers, like I said, Gosden's 1 from 18, for example. Mark Johnson's got a good record as well in this. So there are certain trainers who probably know what kind of horses they've got in this.
O'Brien's just got all the Galileos, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's the key sire in sort of 3-year-old staying races. So
yeah, he could probably just kind of close his eyes and pick one, and it would run well in this race, given the pedigrees. But Elderov then 3-1. Plenty of winners will come out of his Newcastle race last time out, though. And others, even though Gosden's got a poor record, I was pretty impressed with Baltic Bird last time out. And Glen Eagles as well got a surprisingly good record with horses stepping up in trip. And I thought Typewriter was a little bit unlucky at Chester last time out. But it's an open contest, David.
It is 4 places each way in this. I was disappointed to hear you give that John Gosden stat because I quite like Baltic Bird. It's a big step up in class, obviously, from that Yarmouth maiden win, but I thought it was interesting that they were taking that big step up in class. Didn't realise his record. What's William Haggis's record like in this race? Because I thought his Perfect Alibi, similar sort of horse, stepping up from a maiden win. Has he got any sort of record in this?
You keep talking, David, and I'll get it for you. You keep
there
talking.
We go. I will keep talking. I will mention our Frankie Dettori special in this race as well. Then Frankie didn't get off the mark today, but it's surely only a matter of time at the Royal Meeting. Frankie to ride a winner on Wednesday is 2-1 from 6-4. As I say, I like Baltic Bird. If we can ignore the John Gosden record, he will surely win this race at some point. And I liked Anchorage as well. 1.25 miles last time, as Robbie said. This trip, 1.6 miles, surely much more up his liking. Aidan's record in this race is so good that you have to take notice of it, albeit, as I say, I'm contradicting myself slightly because I didn't realise John Gosden's record was quite so bad.
I mean, to be fair, the horse that he did win it with was Stradivarius, David. So
there we go.
Could well be a good one. William Haggis, 4 runners, no winners, no placed.
So not really conclusive either way.
No, small sample size, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's small sample size, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing to get. There's no. Yeah, let's not make any judgments from it.
Let's not.
Basically, let's not get carried away. Okay, Elderov then 3-1 favourite for the Queen's Vase. Let's see what you're saying at home about this race. Jackrabbit Slim wouldn't back Nahani at any price. Ian Wick says he missed it at 9-1, but couldn't back it at 4. So different opinions. Stevens 99, Baltic Bird most likely improver for the trip. Pompey Blue says he backed Elderov for the Derby at 100-1, so now he's 3-1. He's bound to win and annoy me. That is true. And Mark Smith says I think Emotion for John Gosden is a massive price and the step up will suit. Queen's Vase selection then, Robbie?
Let's go for Haffett because he's slightly bigger than Anchorage, but I'll be backing both.
Okay, there you go. Graeme?
I'm on Nahani. I wouldn't worry too much about Elderov winning the Derby. I mean, he would never have beaten Desert Crown on the day. So, yeah, Nahani will win this, though.
Yeah, okay, there you go. And I'll take a small chance with Typewriter each way at a big price. What price Typewriter, David?
Typewriter is a 25-1 shot.
Okay.
And I'm going to go, I don't know why I'm feeling ridiculously bullish. I'm going to go for another forecast, Anchorage and Baltic Bird.
Okay, there we go. David Stevens is see if that confidence tapers off as the card goes on, or by the time we get to the 6:10, you'll be having boxed exactas and trifectas and all sorts, I think. But anyway, let's go to Ascot for the Prince of Wales's Stakes. Is what I was trying to say. Tomorrow's feature Group 1, where Bay Bridge is 5-4 favourite, Shariar is 3-1, State of Rest 11-2, Lord North 6-1, Grand Glory is 9-1. A small but select field for this race, and a horse that some of us. I've been banging on about this favourite for ages. So fingers crossed that Bay Bridge gets to leave a bit of an impression that I think he might well do in the Prince of Wales Stakes tomorrow. The Brigadier Gerard form, of course, Frank today at Ascot. So he's 5-4 for a yard. He've won it a couple of times recently, Robbie. They don't have a fantastic overall record, Sir Michael Stout, and the two horses he has won it with were more experienced 5-year-olds. So Bay Bridge, he's actually still, given his trainer, it's still fairly early days for him.
Yeah, you have to say he's still quite unexposed, don't you?
Yeah.
But what he did, I mean, Rod has dug out some data about it. I might be nicking his thunder here, but on RPRs, Bay Bridge produced one of the top 11, I think, in history in a Group 2 of 126. And that performance at Sandown was crazy good. Probably, apart from Bailly, the best performance we've seen all season. Kind of kicking myself. I was going to back him for this before that race. I quite liked him for that, but didn't get around to it. You know, that's happened now. But I just think he's going to be
the option of the Hardwick, of course, as well. So you didn't quite know which one you were
yeah,
going for.
but I just thought, once you won over 1 mile 2 over Sandown, it kind of lends itself to this race. But I just think Shreyar, a little bit better over 1 mile 4. I think Lord North, is he quite at the same level he was a couple of years ago? I'm not sure. State of Rest, not quite as good as Bay Bridge. I just think this is a banker, really.
Okay, there you go. Bay Bridge is 5-4 favourite here for Sir Michael Stout and Ryan Moore to continue his winning run. One defeat came on debut, of course, but yeah, Sir Michael Stout, he's won both of them. Like I said, this race with 5-year-olds recently, Crystal Ocean and Poet's Word. To be fair, he doesn't run many of this quality. He's run 2 horses, 2 4-year-olds rated as good as Bay Bridge in this, and they both placed. They were Tartan Bearer and Islington. So he's due a win. But yeah, everyone was impressed with Bay Bridge at Sandown, and he's a deserved favourite, even if you know, the next two in the betting have better form to him, Graeme.
Yeah, he'll win, won't he, Ross? He's a star. He's a star already, and he's a star in the making. He's only won a Group 3, but he's definitely a Group 1 horse. Funny, Robbie was talking about that data. Shows you how far ahead of myself I am. I completely didn't have a clue what he was talking about, as I did it a few days ago. Yeah, that's true. Of all the horses that have won below Group 1 company, Bay Bridge has got among the highest Racing Post ratings, and almost all of those horses that achieved 125 plus RPR below Group 1 level went on to win Group 1s or were Group 1 winners. So in other words, he is a Group 1 horse. It's just a matter of time before he gets one. And not only that, to my eye anyway, this looks a really weak Group 1. I mean, Shariar, I mean, as much as I respect the Japanese sort of horses, because I think that that is where the sort of power is shifting towards Japanese racing. However, you know, he scraped home at Meydan, beating Yabir Neck with Pile Driver right in behind him, and you know, Pile Driver got hammered by Hookham. Now I know Alan Kerr won next time out, but I'm not sure that Alan Kerr's at his best over a mile and a half. Probably he's better a mile and a quarter. So
I would say, I mean, Hookham was in that race as well, wasn't he? He was well beaten.
Hookham was, but I find it hard to believe that was the Hookham that we saw at Epsom running that day at Meydan, finishing down in 7th. So, you know, I think that he's got quite a bit to find, and Bay Bridge, of course, is improving significantly as well. State of Rest isn't a Group 1 horse. Lord North, yeah, he's all right, decent Group 1 horse. And Grand Glory, Keith Melrose tells me he's done the sectionals from France and he can shift. Now, what that means, I don't know. I suppose he can shift. He can sprint, but yeah, it's just don't overcomplicate it. Back Bay Bridge, watch him win by 5-6 lengths, and then go home winning.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Well, Grand Glory can shift. It's when he starts to control Alt Delete that you need to worry.
I was just going to say, the only thing is that he's not won on fast ground. I remember Cracksman got beaten in this a few years ago, didn't he, with the same thing? But I think he'll overcome that. I don't think Cracksman was a bit more ground dependent on the whole. Okay. Please continue though.
No. It was nice. It was a
looked like you're about to move on, but bring Dave into the conversation.
No, it was a beautiful segue, Robbie. You got to the end. You doubted yourself. I don't know why you.
I just lost my confidence.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. You started. So I mean, we talk about. Oh, I will go to David because one man who's not lacking confidence tonight is David. Bay Bridge has been pretty warm for this for since winning that Brigadier Gerard. In terms of the other two, the outsiders, Lord North and Grand Glory, 6-year-olds and older in this race, 1 from 25, and the winner was So You Think, who was cut above and sent off 4 to 5 favourites. So it is a little bit difficult for Lord North and Grand Glory to beat the front three here, given how much more they could have to offer as 4-year-olds as well. But yeah, Bay Bridge, again, he's another one of those horses that, I mean, you could argue, again, bare form, you know, listed Group 3, he's 5 to 4 in a Group 1 against horses with form at the top level. But as we've already discussed, David, it's not that simple, is it? No,
he has only got the Group 3 Group 3 win to his name, and the others are all Group 1 winners, Rodders. I know you don't think it's a good race, but Grand Glory won the Group 1 against our own sex at Deauville last year. Lord North, of course, is a previous winner of this, dead heated in Dubai. State of Rest has won a Cox Plate. I mean, the Aussies are screaming at you for saying he's not a Group 1 horse. And Sharia is a top-class Japanese horse, and they've proved time and time again in recent months how good they are. So I think it's a proper race. Said all of that.
Fair, yeah, you're right about that. But you look at it, and every runner, apart from the favourite, has won a Group 1 in the past 7 to 8 months.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is a proper, it's a really interesting Prince of Wales. And I think, look, we all want Bay Bridge to win and to win well. And that performance at Sandown, the Brigadier Gerard, was a wow performance. I was fortunate enough to be there. And he was an 8-1 shot, I think, before this race. Sorry, Robbie. Before he won that. And now, of course, he's a short price favourite. And he's trained by a maestro who's having a great season. And we are all expecting big things from him. But tomorrow is where he has to go and prove it. And I don't think it's going to be a gimme. And again, Robbie touched on it. If you're looking for holes, it is the fact he's never run on ground this quick. The Japanese horse in particular, we think will relish it. So I don't think he'll have any problems with it. It's good, quick, fast summer ground. And they've certainly not mentioned that they've got any concern. So I hope he wins. I think he'll win. But he's got to be a Group 1 horse to win it, I think.
But given that he won the Coral sponsored Brigadier Gerard, you are contractually obliged to select him, or is that right, David?
Well, if he was going straight from the Coral Brigadier Gerard to the Coral Eclipse, then that would be a different story. But hopefully he'll win this tomorrow, hard-howed, and then go to Sandown. But we have all manner, and I mean all manner of enhanced specials on this race alone. A Ryan Moore double tomorrow is 2-1 from 6-4. This obviously an obvious chance for one of those for Ryan. 7-2 from 11-4. Bay Bridge to win this by over 1.5 lengths. And finally, he is a 5-4 shot, but we're 13-8 now, at least for another hour for a maximum of 20 quid. So all manner of ways you can get with Bay Bridge and Ryan Moore in this race.
Interesting question on the chat from Ryan Watmo, who says, "Is there any pace in here, boys? Anyone worried the crawl round and turn into a sprint?" Which is definitely something to mention, as nothing in here is particularly inclined to go on. Is there a potential, Rodders, that given who's on board Bay Bridge and it was a similar story last year with Love, wasn't it? And Ryan Moore set out and was prominent and kicked on from the outset. And is it possible he could do the same?
It's possible, isn't it? He would have definitely thought about it. There's no doubt about it. Ryan Moore would have given it some thought, because he's that type of jockey, isn't he? What is he going to do? What is the tactics going to be? I just don't think it matters, Ross. I just think he's so much better than these. I mean, I get the idea that, these lot have all won Group 1s all over the world, but the truth of it is that a lot of those are not real top-class Group 1s, are they? Like Group 1s at Longchamp, like the Prix Gannet and, the Cox Plate and things like that. I mean, if we'd sent Bay Bridge over there, he'd have mop-tapped that Cox Plate by about 10 lengths. The Maiden race, Bay Bridge would have won that by a mile, I'm sure. I take the point that they're all Group 1 winners all over the world, but how many times have you heard in your life, oh, well, he's probably not capable of winning a Group 1 in Britain, but he'd definitely be able to win a Group 1 abroad? And I just think that all of these horses against him are all capable of winning Group 1s abroad, but I don't think they're capable of beating a top-class Group 1 horse on his own backyard in Britain. So I just think he'll win, Ross.
There you go. I mean, if that doesn't get clipped out, then I don't know. If someone's not doing their job right. That is a very, very strong selection for Bay Bridge from Graeme Rodway.
And that's a strong one from Robbie Wilds as well. Bay Bridge wins.
Yeah, Bay Bridge wins. Yeah, like I said, fingers crossed. I've been waiting for this for the best part of a year. So yeah, hopefully Bay Bridge wins. And David Stevens?
We're in agreement. Bay Bridge does win, but it's still a good race.
It is. It is still a good race. It is still a good race, and hopefully it'll be a good performance, and it will unfold on the track. Possible Group 1 glory for Bay Bridge tomorrow against horses who already have Group 1 glory in the feature race on day 2. The Duke of Cambridge Stakes is next up. It's a Group 2, but again, this is a race with genuine Group 1 pedigree on offer, and Saffron Beach is the 5-2 favourite for tomorrow's renewal. Mother Earth is 11-4, Bashkarova 7-2, Sibylla Spain is 6-1, November is 8-1, Primo Bacio 11s, Canella 25s, and Thunder Beauty at 33-1. Now, throughout the season, Graeme, we have plenty of opportunities for the fillies and mares over a mile to shine, and it does tend to then make these divisions pretty strong, and you often get an entertaining race, that's for sure. You were talking about Meydan Group 1 form, of course. Saffron Beach was last seen running over in Dubai and is 5-2 favourite here. Mother Earth, of course, also a Group 1 winner. Bashkarova, really impressive. Bashkarova's almost the Bay Bridge of this race. Hasn't won at the top level yet, but certainly looked like she might last time out. And I know Robbie's going to have an interesting angle on Sibylla Spain in a second. But nice shape to the race anyway. Dead 8 runners, 5-2 favourite. Are you confident as you were in the last race about anything in this?
No, I'm not. No, I thought this was really difficult, Ross. Yeah, Saffron Beach has got a great chance, but she's got a £5 penalty for winning the Group 1 Sun Chariot last year when she absolutely thrashed Mother Earth by 3 lengths. I think she will beat Mother Earth, and I don't fancy Mother Earth. Aidan O'Brien's not got a great record when he sticks the cheap pieces on. It's 9%. His overall strike rate's double that, and they seem to improve second time after cheap pieces. He's up at 30% second time cheap pieces. First time cheap pieces, 6 winners from 65 runners since the start of 2017. So for me, that's a negative, the cheap pieces going on. I also don't think that the straight course at Ascot particularly suits sort of prominent grinding style of running. It tends to suit horses who are held up and can come with a late turn of speed. I really don't fancy Mother Earth. I think Saffron Beach will beat her. I think Saffron Beach is the best of the home ones, but I'm fairly certain there's going to be an upset here. And it's probably going to be the one that Robbie's going to go for, by the sounds of it, Sibylla Spain, trained by Christopher Head. So I presume that he is from the famous Freddie Head, Madame Cricket Head Merrick sort of family, must be. Yeah, I mean, they've done very well with fillies down the years, haven't they? And I don't think he would be bringing this one over unless it was very, very smart. And it's got the right running style for the race, Ross. You know, held up, quickens up well. That sort of French slowly run pounce style might just suit this race. So it's not one of my stronger selections. The way I'll play the race is I'll be taking the first two on. I think that Saffron Beach and Mother Earth are the two to take on. Bashkarova maybe if she gets short as well. I mean, she was around about 5-11 to 2, and I couldn't have been taken up. But I might even take the front three on if they're going to be sort of 11 to 4, 3, 7 to 2, something like that. I'll be happy to take all three on and have the rest of the field on my side with the foreign runners, Sibylla Spain, top of them.
Okay, Sibylla Spain then, yeah. Who again, it was a proper Ascot win last time out, wasn't it? That leading in the dying strides, which is strange because it did completely the opposite on its penultimate start. I don't know if that was just to blow the cobwebs off, but the French Raiders have a really good record in the Coronation and the Duke of Cambridge. They, as Graeme said, I don't know if it's the way their run styles suit the track at Ascot, but
yeah,
it's not a bad angle, is it?
What Rodway was saying there. Although you boys have been putting words in my mouth because I actually don't like Sibylla Spain. Well, I think she'll run well. I prefer Mother Earth. Completely. I think you're talking about Johnny, our handicapper, was saying earlier, like Sibylla Spain.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah, because we were chatting, the three of us, and he said, that's fine,
maybe
mate.
it might be Sam, actually.
Certainly got a big chance.
Sorry, Robbie, I apologise.
No, not at all. I just thought Mother Earth. I mean, she's quite lucky to get away with that £5, not having a £5 penalty because she won the Guineas over a year before, I guess. I don't think there's much between her and Saffron Beach at all. I mean, I know there's 3 links between in the Sun Chariot, but on the pick of their form, there's really not much in it. They're sort of beating each other last season. This looks like a good piece of placing. I mean, I think she probably would have finished third to Baid earlier today if she ran in that race, but she avoids the penalty. The cheap pieces is a slight concern, but I mean, this is a real drop in class for a filly who's running something like 12 while last 13 races have been Group 1s. Yeah, I think Mother Earth will win.
Okay, Mother Earth, and yeah, apologies. I think it was Sam outside who was saying Sibylla Spain was his bet, but that's the problem. Everyone, there's so many opinions flying around. It's hard to peg him down. But I thought Bashkarova was one of my strongest fancies of the week here. As soon as it did that performance at Epsom, I thought, wow, if this takes another step forward, this is going to be a proper Windsor Forest Duke of Cambridge horse. Of course, they had Lights On and Potapova. Shively Park entered in this race. They've only got Bashkarova. You can excuse the defeats. I think she went too soon at Goodwood. She got sucked into racing into the home straight and got done on the line. Soft ground 10 furlongs last year wouldn't have suited, and she's got a straight mile win at Newcastle on her card, and of course that's not a bad angle for Ascot either. And yeah, she's starting to get a little bit short. I thought she was 5-6 to 1 earlier in the week, 3 places, but yeah, Bashkarova I think looks a real ideal type after that Epsom win last time out. So opinions all over the place here, David. It should be run at a true clip if November does what she did last year at Ascot, of course, as well. Dead 8 runners, a deadly shape for a bookmaker.
Yeah, another really good race as well, I think. So plenty of Group 1 performers in there. The first two in the betting, they were beating each other last season. Be no surprise if either of them were to win it. Sibylla Spain and November from France and Germany, respectively, on the best bits of form. They've got chances here, but neither will have encountered anything like the quick ground they're going to get tomorrow. Whereas Bashkarova, I think, is pretty versatile ground-wise. Wouldn't worry her quick ground. And I'm with you. I think she is. I mean, you compared her to the Bay Bridge of this race at the start here, the way she's just rising through the ranks. And yeah, I'm hoping there is more to come after a really impressive win at Epsom at Group 3 level. This was the obvious next step up. She has been very well backed. I mean, she was 5 to 1 this afternoon. She's now into 7 to 2, as you can see. And another one who's been backed and does have form from last year with Bashkarova is Primo Baccio, was 16 to 1 earlier. So they're the two being backed. The two at the head of the market, relatively weak.
Okay. Saffron Beach and 5-2 favourites here. 11 to 4 Mother Earth, Baskerova 7 to 2. Viewers at home for this race. Jesus has gone with Sibylla Spain. Of course he has. Makes perfect sense. Baskerova wins for Hakuna Matata. That's a problem-free selection. And forget Mother Earth, she's gone, says Off-World. But Stevens99 says Mother Earth's Ascot form is good. And Chris Reed is with me with Baskerova. Fingers crossed that comes off. But, OK, Robbie Wilders, tell us what you actually fancy in this.
Information, Mother Earth. But, I mean, Rodders does raise a good point about the cheap pieces. I just think she's a really good filly who's just shy of top class. So.
OK, very well. Mother Earth for Robbie, but his boss disagrees. Graeme?
Yeah, I'm on Sibylla Spain here, Ross.
OK, very well. I will go with Baskerova. It's in all the each ways. It's in all the each ways, David. Not placed with you, luckily. So you don't have to worry about those monstrous liabilities from my account. But what do you go with here?
I'm joining you on Baskerova, but my confidence is waning because I haven't got a forecast in this race.
There you go. See, by the last race, you'll have lost all faith in everything at this rate. But it doesn't get much easier, does it? We've got the Royal Hunt Cup next, a classic Ascot cavalry charge, 30 runners, and of course last year's winner at Real Worlds progressed into Group 1 quality horse. Will we see the same in this year's event? Well, the favourite is the horse who was on the wrong side of Real World last year, and that's Astro King at 6 to 1. Legend of Dubai is 8 to 1. Dark Shift 10 to 1. Totally Charming is 11 to 1. Symbolize 11s. Magical Morning 14s. But Pedro 16 to 1 with Desert Peace also at 16s, and it is bigger price as the rest. 30 runners. Just to check before we get the selections, David, what are the place terms on this?
6 places each way in a typically fiendishly difficult-looking Hunt Cup.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a proper lineup, though, isn't it? We've got plenty of unexposed 4-year-olds. We've got loads of course form. Obviously, the form from last year's Hunt Cup, the form from Aldari's win at the back end at Ascot as well looks very good. Magical Morning, a winner last time out. Totally Charming, brings some Epsom form. There's not many horses who you would have expected to line up in here that don't. You've got your Spring Cups, your Lincolns. Everything's represented in this year's Hunt Cup.
Proper race, isn't it? Yeah. I like Legend of Dubai, but I've liked him quite a while. He's gone a little bit short now, but I just feel like he could be, in this kind of race, you're looking for a potential group horse, and he just fits that bill completely. I mean, he's by Dubai out of 2-time Group 1 winner, speedy boarding for James Fanshawe. Just the form of his comeback run's working out really well. I mean, he's gone up £11 for bolting up by nearly 5 lengths, but the third's come out and won 2 really good races since. RPI of 105 there. He's off 96 now. I think he could be much better than we've seen, and that's really rare in these kind of races. I believe he's got quite a good record in them. He won a similar 4-year-old handicap of Royal Champion at York with a horse of a very similar profile for the same owners a couple of weeks ago. Just think this is just an absolute plot job really to me. So Legend of Dubai. And also he's drawn in stall 11's won 2 of the last 7 run-ins, and he's drawn in stall 10. So it's not the end of the world, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Andrew Atzini and Roger Varian do have a good record with these types. It reminds me of when they punted Finest Sound in the Britannia a couple of seasons ago. But they never go off a big price, do they, Rodders? The Varian handicappers with this kind of profile.
No, they don't. No. I tend to like his runners actually over a bit further, but he's obviously got a chance. It's the Royal One Cup and at 30 runners. I thought one of the bets of the day ran in this race, Dark Shift. For Charlie Hills, James McDonald, who obviously rode, I can't remember his name, to win the sprint today. And Dawes absolutely loves the straight track at Ascot. He's already won 3 times on the straight track at Ascot, including over the course and distance. I mean, he's only had 10 runs in total. He's won 5 of them. Last time out, he had to win to get into this race and get a penalty. And he did, and he didn't just win, he absolutely hosed up in a Nottingham handicap. He is definitely a better horse at Ascot. He's breeding his all Ascot straight course, Dark Angel out of an Oasis Dream mare. He's breeding his all quick ground, Dark Angel out of an Oasis Dream mare. Yes, he's got loads of form on soft ground, but he's got if he can't go on fast ground with that pedigree, I'll be absolutely amazed. he is a group horse in a handicap without doubt, and he's running off 9 stone 1. They offer compressed handicap at the bottom. The only worry, he's drawn in 15, so James McDonald is going to have to make a decision about where he wants to go, presuming they go into 2 groups here. And it's always difficult to know which side is going to come out on top, isn't it, in the Royal Hunt Cup? But yeah, if he's on the right side, he's going to go very close, I think, Dark Shift.
Yeah, if he's on the right side is words that come back to haunt you in these kind of races. I think the thing is you just need to pick a side, don't you? You want to be up against our rail, regardless of which one it is. It's when you jockey races 3 off the rail and can't quite decide which side to join that the problems start to emerge. I think you just need to commit and pick one. Asho King, of course, clearly been aimed at this race after his near miss last season. Totally charming as well. Looking back, I mean, again, I sent Keith on a wild goose chase looking for all-weather form at Ascot and how that fares, and in particular in this race as well. I think it works out very well indeed, and Totally Charming's got a proper Hunt Cup kind of finish. But I think the key piece of form here, guys, potentially is the Aldari form from the back end of last year, where obviously Aldari is. You're saying about group horse in handicaps. Well, that's definitely what he is. Symboliser Magical Morning was 2nd and 3rd in that. And they're 11 to 1 and 14 to 1, and I think that is absolutely bomb-proof form at the track. They've both got good runs here in the past as well, so those 2 will do for me in the Hunt Cup. David, there's a few opinions. Do you have any of your own to throw into the mix?
Yeah, well, I'm in total agreement with Rodders on Dark Shift for all the reasons he outlined there. He's drifting slightly out to 10 to 1, but I wouldn't worry about that with those 6 places each way. And then one I just caught my eye, big price, trained by Roger Varian, of course, who has the 2nd favourite, Legend of Dubai. But Great Gadian, he's been gelded and he's won 2 little races on the Chelmsford All-Weather over 10 furlongs. The fact he gets 10 furlongs is no hindrance in a fast-run stiff mile like this Hunt Cup. He's won on good to firm ground over a mile. That was at Nottingham last summer, so the ground won't be any problems. And he's drawn in 11, which Robbie just said about, good recent records. So yeah, he was one that caught my eye around the 22 to 1 mark. Great Gadian, but look, fiendishly tricky. I think you need probably 3-4 goes here, and between us, I think we're going to manage that.
Load up that place pot perm as well for this race. Intelligence each way for Jesus. Etonian laid out for this, says Daniel Moll. Yeah, that is a bit of an easier race that Etonian's been running in. Hakuna Matata symbolised looks good. Harry Davies top apprentice, and Sinjari for Chris Reed. Some good form with Baybridge and Harrovian. Yeah, Sinjari. This is a little bit easier than a lot of the races that he's contested in his quite long career now. Sinjari. Asho King though 6 to 1 favourite, but we're all avoiding the market leader. Robbie, what's the pick?
Legend of Dubai. It's interesting you said about Symbolise. He was 2nd on my list. I mean, he's bumped into Mutasabek, who's clearly a group horse, and Aldari clearly a group horse on his last 3 starts. Harry Davies claims 5 off as well, so he'd be my 2nd pick. But Legend of Dubai would be the main one. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, those last 3 runs are absolute bomb.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he effectively run off 99. So yeah, he's got to go close really.
Yeah. Okay. Rodders.
Yeah, Dark Shift for me. Quite confident in this one. It's as confident as you can be in a 30-runner Royal Hunt Cup, Ross.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good luck. Just hope you get the splits, Graeme. That's all you need. Just hope you get the splits. David.
Dark Shift and Great Gadian each way for me.
Okay, lovely, and I'll go with that Aldari form, Symbolise and Magical Morning in the Hunt Cup then. 2 more races to go. 30 runner mile handicaps. 24 runner 2-year-old races, that's what we want. We've got the Windsor Castle Stakes here, and Little Big Bear, though. To be fair, one of the shortest priced 2-year-olds of the week, 5 to 2 here. Far Shot 9 to 1, Chateau 9 to 1, Bolt Action 9s, Seismic Spirit 12s with Nebworth, 14 to 1 Wadeo, 14 to 1 Rocket Rodney as well, and bigger prices the rest. Again, David, I'll just double check with the big fields. What are we offering?
We have got 5 places each way in this Windsor Castle. Okay,
lovely stuff. 5 places each way then for this 24 runner race. And looking at the Coventry today, Graeme, I was looking at the figures that Blackbeard was doing on my speed figures and thinking, I can't quite understand what on earth is going on here. There are horses who've done plenty of better performances, and one of those was in his own stable and wasn't even in the race, and that's Little Big Bear, who was a little bit unlucky on debut and bolted up last time out, but he's 5 to 2, but you can almost see why, can't you? I mean, he was pretty much the same price as Blackbeard in what looks a weaker race.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I have him with the two top figures in the race, and he's only run twice. So if he reproduces either of those, he should win. But he's priced accordingly, of course, Ross. I have Chateau not too far behind him at 9-1. I know they're the first two in the market, but I think it's warranted on what they've achieved so far, and just at the prices. Although you look silly, don't you, when if Little Big Bear drifts out to 3-1 because people like you and I have decided that he's too short, and then he wings in and wins easily. You look a bit stupid because obviously you're turning your nose up at a 3-1 winner. But I'm going to do it nevertheless, and I'm going to suggest back in Sato because he's just 3 or 4 times the price of Little Big Bear, and I don't have him that far behind Little Big Bear on my figures on his Beverley run last time out, and that's obviously a stiff track, just like Ascot. It was quick ground, so he should run well. It's a very difficult race, but Chateau and Big Bear are the right two at the top of the market, but there's too much between them, and Chateau is the bet. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense, Graeme. Absolutely perfect
Great.
sense. You couldn't have said it better. Chateau 9-1 shot then at co-second favourite, in fact, with Bolt Action and Far Shot. Little Bear is 5-2. I mean, there are loads of other horses. Again, the 2-year-olds. I'm not entirely sure. I've not necessarily looked at the juveniles this year and gone, oh, we've got 4 or 5 absolute superstars. But time and time again, there are horses who come in. There's about 20 horses who've performed really well in their novice events that you're trying to sort out. Little Big Bear apart, there's probably 6 or 7 others in here who've got leading claims.
There are, yeah. You just really don't know. These are such tough races, but I mean, a Little Big Bear for me he's just miles clear on what he's achieved so far, and I can only really go off the form that I've seen. I mean, he's £12 clear on adjusted RPRs. I mean, we know he stays 6 furlongs. He's 1/5 on Yielding Soft. He almost 1/6 on his debut. He's going to see out the trip well. He's just the right kind of horse for the race. I actually thought slightly more impressed with him than I was with Blackbeard and their respective juvenile wins. So I just think he's going to be way too good. But I also do like Woodall at 14-1. His form ties in with the Antarctic, who another Aidan O'Brien's top juveniles, who is a brother to Batash. He's not beaten far by him, come out and won his maiden in really good style. And he's had 4 runs behind him. Having that battle-hardened experience is not going to hurt in a race like this. So it's another race where I'll be backing Little Big Bear, but I'll have a small bet on an each way, one at a price too.
Yeah, of course, he ran in the same race, didn't he, on debut as Little Big Bear.
He did, yeah.
That did look
But he's improving, this Woodall.
Yeah. Okay, Woodall then is a 14-1 shot. I think if Little Big Bear does get beat, it's potentially worth chancing that it's the draw that does it, and it might well be worth looking at a couple of bigger prices who have done a couple of decent figures. I thought Whistle and Flute might be a little bit overpriced for the Chipotle connections. Really impressive performance on debut. Bakil might well go and win a Norfolk later on, and I know he was well beaten by Chateau, but I just think you put a line through that. Didn't seem to particularly enjoy the experience at Beverley. And the other one working, I thought Rocket Rodney as well, who went way too quick at Nottingham and got picked up by a good horse, and then quick and clear in a very impressive time at Goodwood last time out, and they're both drawn high, so they could have a squeak here. But Little Big Bear 5-2, and likely to be in plenty of multis, David.
Yeah, indeed. And just on that subject, Rod was saying there, if it was to drift, but we are best odds guaranteed from now on all these races anyway. So if Little Big Bear does drift, which sounds unlikely given the panel's confidence behind him, but you would get those anyway. I am in agreement again with Rodders on Chateau, particularly at the prices. He stepped up from that debut third to win well at Beverley. Andrew Balding in the winners at Ascot today. And just purely on prices alone, I thought Chateau was the bet there. What was the one you mentioned? Whistle and Flute is a 33-1 shot currently.
Lovely stuff. There we go. Windsor Castle Stakes, Robbie?
Little Big Bear.
Okay, very well. Rodders?
Yeah, the interesting thing about that Whistle and Flute, Ross, is that when Chipotle won, he obviously got beat coming in, and that got beat, didn't it? Whistle and Flute. Anyway, yeah, I think that could run well, but I'm with Chateau.
Okay, lovely stuff. Yeah, I'll go with Little Big Bear, but save us at bigger prices on Rocket Rodney and Whistle and Flute. Last race of the day then is the Kensington Palace Stakes, only the second running of this, and if you're going on trends, you just want to back David Loughnane, don't you? He had a very good result in this last year with a 1-2. Fionn comes back for another crack and is a 16-1 shot, but the favourite is an Irish raider in the shape of Hazaya at 9-2. White Moonlight 7s, Improvised 7s, Far Too Shy's 11s with State Occasion and Isola Rossa, and it is bigger price as the rest. Again, 20 runners. David, how many places?
We are just checking this one. 5 places to finish.
Lovely stuff. An extra place to finish then. Robbie Wilders, what takes advantage of that extra
do
place?
you know what? I've never had so many favourites on a big festival day, but I just really like Hazia here. Off the same mark as we had quite an eye-catching third at the Curragh last time. I loved her run the time before at Leopardstown. I just think the way she won that suggests she might have a good couple of stone in hand. She's up £13 for that, but Mikey Shee takes off 3. Very well bred, out of a half-sister to Harzan Derby winner. She's going to be staying on strongly, and I just feel like it's got to be significant that Qatar Racing have bought into her last week. And she's off a mark of 86, and she's entered in the Group 2 later in the season. I just think she's a bit better than we've seen, but unfortunately, the market has not missed that. I mean, I was having a good look at every race for Royal Ascot Guide, and this is the field that stood out for me for this race about a week ago. The value's probably gone, but I think she'll definitely be in the frame. So if we can get some 5-1 and you get your money back for the place, that'll do me.
Okay, that has here 9-2 currently, but I was a little bit worried about that. It's that 3 box on the round mile that worried me about the favourite, Graeme.
Yeah, they're trying to catch us out here, Ross, aren't they? They run all these mile races on the straight track, and then they throw in a sneaky little mile handicap on the round course last year, and then it stays this year. Yeah, for a little while I thought that this was on the straight track, and someone had to point out to me that this was actually on the round course, and it's a completely different course.
Isn't it? Of course, the Sandringham's the mile handicap on the straight.
On the straight, yeah. Yeah, no, I like Improvised, who absolutely thrown in, isn't she? Last time out, she finished second in a listed race, surrounded by 2 improving 3-year-olds who are rated in the 90s, off unfavourable terms over 7 furlongs at Musselburgh. And a handicapper has whacked her up £10 for finishing second in that listed race. However, that new mark doesn't kick in yet. So she's actually £10 well in here. She's running off 84. She'll run off 94 in the future. And obviously is absolutely thrown in. So David O'Meara had a winner today, didn't he? The last race. Maybe he's going to have the last race again, Ross. Improvised.
Well, I hope he has the first race as well, so it could be a very good week for David O'Meara. Yeah, Improvised came home well at 7-1. A couple caught my eye. One was White Moonlight, who has had a difficult career, obviously, but pulled way too hard last time out. That was clearly to blow off the cobwebs for this. And that Newmarket win back in 2019, I mean, she looks incredibly well handicapped off 92, the horses she beat there. She's drawn in 20, so hopefully Danny Tudhope will go round the outside. And also Isola Rossa as well, who's another late closer from the back, drawn wide. James Fanshawe, this is his type of horse, isn't it? Doncaster, Ascot, all-weather performers who come from last to first, hopefully with a withering run. So White Moonlight and Isola Rossa for me, David. What about you?
Isola Rossa was one of 2 on my list. The other one was the other 11-1 shot, State Occasion. She's not actually won a race or been first past the post in 5 runs. She was awarded a reappearance at Chelmsford in the Steward's Room, but she's got decent form last year. I'd say she was consistent, so I think she should be all right drawn in 5. That looks a pretty good draw, and I'm hoping there is more to come from Rafe Beckett's filly.
OK, State Occasion, who does have Ascot form then. Last race of the day. Hazaya nicely back, one to beat, says Stevens. Hakuna Matatas with State Occasion as well. Don't Tell Claire for Destiny's Sounds. And apparently Paul Keeley is also going for Improvised as well. So Rodder's in agreement there. So final race of the day on Royal Ascot Day 2. Robbie Wilders.
Hazia.
Hazia for the favourite backer, Robbie Wilders.
Yeah, it's not normally like this, I can assure you. But
no, I know.
It's one of those days, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But hopefully
put them all
it will all click.
Well, given how they went today, though, you need to stick them all together in the each-way multis.
Might have to.
You've got to get those places, mate.
Absolutely.
You don't need winners. You just need places. That's what we're going for. Graeme, the final pick?
Yeah, I'm on Improvised, Ross.
OK, lovely stuff. And David?
State Occasion each way.
OK, lovely stuff. Like I said, White Moonlight and Isola Rossa for me. Kieran Catterson, White Moonlight and Improvised at home. So plenty of people agreeing with final race selections. Royal Ascot Day 2 then. What have we got up our sleeves in regards to naps? Let's get your nap of the day first, Graham Rodway. Best bet on Day 2.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Dark Shift will do the business in the Royal Hunt Cup 5 o'clock. That's my best bet.
Okay, 30 runner mile handicap straight in there. Robbie Wilder.
Let's get off to a fly with Love Reigns and the Queen Mary.
Okay, lovely stuff. Love Reigns it is. David Stevens.
I'm taking Robbie on in the opener. I'm going to go dramatised in that first. And don't forget, of course, if you are beaten by a length, you get your money back. There's a free bet up to a tenner.
Okay, lovely stuff. And I'll hope that Spashkarova comes rushing home to win the Duke of Cambridge Stakes at 4:20. That's it for day 2 then for Royal Ascot. I think we have a complete change of team again, don't we, David? No, you're sticking with us. What are you doing?
I'll be here again, mate, yeah.
Yeah, but Rodders, are you coming in?
I'll be in, but I'm not on this show tomorrow. No.
Right.
But I'll see you tomorrow, Ross. I look forward to it. And Robbie.
Yeah, I look forward to it as well, boss.
There you go. I'll expect a stiff appraisal of Robbie, and I'll just take a firm handshake and maybe a hug, Graeme. I don't know how it goes. But best of luck, everyone at home. Thanks for watching. We are back for more tomorrow, of course. Good luck on day 2 of Royal Ascot. And gamble responsibly, of course, as well. As Graeme says, it's a long old week.